Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys anime episode review. This time I'm talking about episode 27, so let's get to it. Episode 27 starts with Ash, who is training with Riolu inside of Sakuragi or Cerise Park. Ash has Riolu attack Mr. Mime, who dodges the attacks, or it blocks them with Reflect. Ash tells Riolu to use Force Palm, which does reveal a new move for Riolu, who has only used Vacuum Wave so far. Meanwhile, Go is also training with his Farfetch'd, but it seems he is practicing baseball with Farfetch'd for whatever reason. I guess Farfetch'd did hit the Pokeballs Go through at it in episode 20 with its leak, like if it was playing baseball. Professor Sakuragi, or Cerise, shows up with a surprise for Ash and Goh. He has tickets for an official Masterclass battle of the Pokemon World Championships or World Coronation Series. Ash is very happy that he gets to watch another one of Leon's battles. So, Ash and Goh decide to travel to Galar. Goh says that he will capture more Galar Pokemon and he tells Farfetch'd to come along too. I guess that Goh was training with Farfetch'd so that Farfetch'd would be there with Goh when they received the tickets. And Goh could tell Farfetch'd to come along with him, which means there can be a meeting of the Farfetch'd later on in the episode when Galarian Farfetch'd appears. So, Ash and Goh scream "Let's go" in unison with their Pokemon, and then the opening theme begins. After the opening, the first thing that is shown is Wyndham Stadium, where the Master Class battle will take place. Ash and Go are running because they are late to the battle since they both decided to overeat, which led to their meal taking longer than they expected. They run into the stadium and Ash stops momentarily in front of the statue of the hero of Galar. He is clearly interested in it, but Go tells him to hurry up, so Ash keeps running. Ash and Go sit down to watch the battle. Ash sends out Ryolu so that it can watch the battle. Ryolu is definitely getting a lot of attention and screen time, certainly much more than Dragonite and Gengar for sure. Go follows suit by sending out his Farfetch'd. The announcer then talks about the Pokemon World Championships or World Coronation Series. He mentions that there are over 10,000 participants, but only the top 8 get to be in the Master Class or the Master Ball class. These are the strongest trainers, and to show them the respect they deserve, they are referred to as the Master's 8. The silhouette of the Master's 8 is shown, which is something that was shown in the special preview several months ago. Leon, Lance, and Raihan are the only ones that are recognizable, so I am hoping that the other ones are just placeholders for now. In the future, these will be revealed to be amazing, well-known trainers. After this introduction, the battlers enter the arena. Raihan is the first one to enter the field. The announcer mentions that Raihan pushed his way up the ranks right after joining the championship, and he mentions that Raihan's rank is 7th place, which is second to last within the Masters 8. It's possible that Lance is ranked 8th, considering that he was the first of the Masters 8 to face Leon. This means that Leon might battle the Masters 8 in ascending order, and this also means that the other 5 trainers in the Masters 8 are ranked from 6 to 2, which means that they are stronger than an Elite 4 member and a gym leader, so I am definitely looking forward to seeing who they are. I am hoping for other champions like Diantha, who actually appeared on the cover of the magazine Jesse was reading in episode 26. But going back to the episode, Go comments that Raihan looks strong, and Ash is excited to see Leon's opponent. Leon then makes his entrance. Leon and Raihan end up face to face in the middle of the stadium, and I was honestly surprised to see that Raihan is so much taller than Leon. Raihan reveals that he decided to participate in the Pokemon World Championships or World Coronation Series so that he can end Leon's winning streak. Leon tells Raihan to enjoy the cheers and yelling from the audience, but Raihan says that this will be a serious battle and not one that will cause the audience to rejoice. Both trainers walk to their side of the field and then they send out their Pokemon. Raihan sends out Duraludon while Leon sends out Charizard. The battle begins with Raihan telling Duraludon to use Metal Claw. Duraludon rushes Charizard and it hits Charizard in the stomach. Duraludon was fast, and the announcer mentions that its speed denotes a lightness that contradicts Duraludon's heavy appearance. I wonder if this hints at Duraludon having Light Metal as its ability. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, Raihan's Duraludon does have Light Metal when you battle Raihan the second time and during the tournaments at Wyndham Stadium. Leon counters by telling Charizard to use Dragon Claw, which is a new move for Charizard since it did not have it before. Ash and Go are both surprised by this, and Go says that Leon changed his move since last time. Duraludon counters with Iron Defense, which allows it to tank the Dragon Claw. Raihan then tells Duraludon to use Metal Claw again, But Leon calls for Dig, which Charizard uses to avoid the Metal Claw. This surprised me, because not only is it another move that Charizard did not have before, but it's also a Charizard with Dig, and that just feels wrong somehow. So Charizard avoids the Metal Claw with Dig, and then it hits Duraludon using the same Dig. A super effective hit. Leon then calls for Brick Break, another new move. Like seriously, someone was clearly busy looking for TMs and TRs, and then he gave them to Charizard because its moveset is completely different except for Flamethrower. I wonder if Leon changed Charizard's moves knowing that he would face Duraludon, since ground and fighting are Duraludon's only two weaknesses. Raihan calls for Stone Edge, which hits Charizard and it stops Brick Break. Leon smiles, saying that Duraludon is indeed a strong opponent. Raihan says that he will wipe that calm smile off Leon's face, and then he calls for Steel Beam, a powerful move that decreases the user's HP by half after it is used. Duraludon charges the move, and then it uses it. Charizard counters with Flamethrower. Both moves clash, but Steel Beam overpowers the Flamethrower. Charizard is hit and it falls to the ground, but it gets up roaring despite being obviously hurt. Leon thanks Raihan and Duraludon for lighting the fire in Charizard's soul. Raihan says that they should be even flashier then, and he proceeds to Gigantamax his Duraludon. Unfortunately, he did not take a selfie. Leon, of course, Gigantamaxes his Charizard in response. The battle of the Gigantamax Pokemon then begins. Raihan calls for Max Rockfall, and it's funny that Duraludon does not move at all when it attacks. Its Gigantamax form does look like it wouldn't be very mobile. Leon calls for Max Knuckle. Charizard punches through the Max Rockfall and it lands a hit on Duraludon. Raihan tells Duraludon to not give up, and then he calls for Max Steel Spike. Leon calls for G-Max Wildfire in much the same way as he did against Ash and Lance, saying that he will show them a true champion time and that they should enjoy the climax. I guess this is his finisher. The G-Max Wildfire cuts through the Max Steel Spike and it hits Duraludon. Duraludon is defeated by the G-Max Wildfire, meaning that Leon wins the match as expected. Leon and Raihan meet in the middle of the field once again, and Leon tells Raihan that his dream is to make all the trainers in Galar stronger, and that he expects great things from Raihan's gym. Raihan says that he and the gym trainer should polish each other more, and then Raihan will challenge Leon again because he will be the one to end Leon's undefeated legend. Ash then screams out and says that he will be the one to defeat Leon and he will become the strongest trainer ever. Leon waves back at Ash, saying that he is looking forward to that. Ash smiles in response. Leon's expression then changes, like he thought of something or he realized something. I thought that maybe he was going to introduce Ash to Raihan or something. What actually happened is that Leon realized that Chairman Rose was there at the stadium, and so Leon turns to him and he gives him a thumbs up. Chairman Rose was the one who first endorsed Leon as champion, and he also plays a very important role in Pokemon Sword and Shield, which I am sure he will reprise in the anime. Ash stares at Rose intently, maybe because Rose is the one that endorsed the man that Ash has vowed to overcome. So he is perhaps curious of what kind of person Rose is. Ash and Goh stand before the statue of the hero once again. Ash wonders if it's a statue of Leon doing his signature pose. Ash and Goh then start mimicking Leon's pose while arguing which one is doing it better. Sonia, who was sitting nearby, interrupts them by saying Leon as the hero, huh? Ash asks her if it is a statue of Leon, and Sonia tells him that it's not. It's a statue of the legendary hero known across Galar. She then tells Ash and Go about the darkest day, which is what I expected her to do. Ash and Go wonder about what exactly happened, and Sonia says that it is still not known if the darkest day actually happened, or what was it exactly. The hero's whereabouts are unknown, and no one knows what happened to the sword and the shield, or how this all links to Dynamax. Sonia says that investigating all of this is her homework and it's a heavy assignment. Go asks her if it is her homework for school, and Sonia says that it's homework given to her by her grandmother, a Pokemon professor. Sonia says that she is technically her grandmother's assistant. Ash then introduces himself and Pikachu. Sonia looks at Pikachu and with an adorable chibi face, she says that Pikachu is crazy cute, and she grabs Pikachu's ears, which is something that was shown in the preview, but shockingly, Pikachu did not use Thunderbolt on Sonia, which is a classic thing that Pikachu does whenever someone expresses their love for him in an extreme way. Gold then introduces himself and Raboot, Sonia turns to Raboot and does the same thing she did with Pikachu. Raboot's reaction is different though. While Pikachu seemed to be in pain, Raboot was genuinely embarrassed. Sonia then introduces herself and she says it's nice to meet them. The episode then unfortunately cuts away. I really wanted to see more Sonia. Ash and Goh are then seen talking about the legend Sonia told them about. A trainer approaches them in a panic and he asks them about the location of the Pokemon Center. He was carrying an injured Shuto. Ash asks the trainer what happened, and the trainer says that something huge and weird ambushed them on the nearby bridge. Ash and Gold decide to head to the bridge. When they get to the bridge, they don't see anything, but then a Galarian Farfetch'd shows up. Ash and Gold know that it is a Farfetch'd, but one that carries a bigger leak. Gold's Pokedex tells them that it is a Galarian Farfetch'd, and it explains regional forms. The Farfetch'd makes a motion with its arms, like bring it on. What's funny is that Farfetch'd's Japanese name is Kamonegi. When it speaks, it says its own name or part of it like most Pokemon. It says Kamon from Kamonegi, which sounds like it is saying come on, which is combined with its arm motion to create a funny gag of it actually saying come on, bring it, complete with the classic motion. Gold decides to catch the Farfetch'd, but it stops the Pokeball with its arm. Gold decides to battle it instead, so he sends out his Farfetch'd for a battle of the Farfetch'd, which I am sure is the reason why his Farfetch'd was brought along in the first place. Gold calls for Night Slash, and the Galarian Farfetch'd also uses Night Slash. The two clash, but Ghost Farfetch'd is overpowered and it is defeated in one hit. The Galarian Farfetch'd says, come on, once again, and Ash realizes that it has been ambushing trainers on the bridge, forcing them to battle. Ash decides to battle it and he is ready to use Pikachu, but Ryolu comes out of its Pokeball on its own to battle instead. Ryolu was eager to battle. Ash calls for Vacuum Wave and Ryolu attacks, but the Farfetch'd blocks it and it counters with Night Slash. Ash calls for Force Palm, Ryolu hits Farfetch'd in the stomach, but it tanks the hit and it continues with Night Slash. Ash calls for Double Team, which Ryolu uses to dodge Night Slash. This reveals another new move of Ash's Riolu, and Ash says it's the result of their training. Ash calls for a barrage of vacuum waves and all of the clones attack at once. Farfetch'd is still going strong after the barrage and it seems to ready another Night Slash. Ash calls for Double Team once again to dodge it, but Farfetch'd ends up using Brutal Swing instead, and it hits all of the Riolu, including the original, while spinning with all of its might. Ryolu falls down severely injured. Goh mentions that Farfetch'd used up all of its strength when it used Brutal Swing, and that Ryolu also has no energy left. Ash says that Ryolu is fine and that he knows Ryolu can still go on. Ryolu tries to get up, but it can't. Ash continues to encourage it, saying that he believes in it and that he knows Ryolu hasn't given up. Ryolu gets up and it screams out in determination. I totally thought Ryolu was going to evolve here. It was the perfect stage. It was injured during a tough battle, pushed to its limits, but Ash believes in it and Ryolu stands up with determination. It was the perfect moment for evolution, but Ryolu does not evolve. I guess it is still too early for that. Farfetch'd also gets up, and Ash tells Ryolu to use Reversal, a move that does more damage the lower the user's HP is. A perfect move to use here since Ryolu is pretty worn out. This reveals Ryolu's fourth and final move in its current moveset. Fun fact, this is actually the first time that Reversal is used in the anime, which is surprising considering that it's a move that was introduced back in Generation 2. Ryolu hits Farfetch'd with Reversal and it seemingly defeats it. Gold declares that it is over, but Ash says not yet, and he encourages Farfetch'd to get up alongside Pikachu, which surprises Go. And I love Riolu's reaction, like seriously bro, after all I went through to defeat it, you tell it to get back up? Go asks Ash why is he encouraging Farfetch'd, and Ash says it's because it still hasn't given up either. At this point I was like, wait, could Ash catch this Farfetch'd since he is encouraging it and it is a Pokemon that craves strength? Which is something a lot of Ash's Pokemon display. But I thought, nah, no way, Ash has to catch Sobble next episode. Catching two Pokemon in a row would be too much. But then, Go can't catch it either since Ash is the one that successfully battles it. Farfetch'd gets up screaming. Ash says that it did its best to stand up and he says it's time to finish this, right Ryolu? Ryolu is ready to go, however Farfetch'd ends up fainting while it's still standing. A classic anime trope. The episode then cuts to the evening. Ash and Gold took their Pokemon to the Pokemon Center where they are all healed up, including the Galarian Farfetch'd, who immediately says come on, challenging Ash to another battle, and Ash says that it must really like to battle if it still wants to go on. At this point, I'm thinking, could it be? Will Ash catch this Farfetch'd? Ash then tells Farfetch'd to come with him and his team, that it can get stronger with them, which is what Ash said in the special preview, but I thought, and I am sure everyone thought, that this was meant for Sobble. Farfetch'd stares at Ash for a while, and I thought it would be like, nah, I don't need a trainer to get stronger, since it seems to be proud of its strength. But Farfetch'd does its come on motion in response, signifying that it has decided to be caught by Ash. And so, Ash catches a Galarian Farfetch'd. Ash catches a Galarian Farfetch'd, which I am sure a lot of people never saw coming. I surely didn't, especially when you consider it's another fighting type Pokemon. This is the most random and unexpected capture Ash has had in a long time. Perhaps the most random and unexpected capture he has had since the original series. Right after the capture, Ash sends out Farfetch'd, who immediately attacks Ryolu. It is definitely very eager to battle, which makes it a great fit for Ash. Then the narrator says, what about Goh, who did not catch anything today? Will he be able to catch any more Galar Pokemon? Sobble shows up right there, almost as if to hint that Goh will catch Sobble instead of Ash, which honestly left me with a deep feeling of despair. I watched the preview and the ending thing feeling just shocked. I never expected that Ash would catch the Galarian Farfetch'd. I thought for sure that Goh would catch it and Ash would catch Sobble. Looking back now, perhaps I was wrong to think that Goh would catch the Galarian Farfetch'd, considering that he already has a Cantonian Farfetch'd. Goh wants to catch them all, so he wouldn't catch a Pokemon he already has. His Farfetch'd can't evolve into Sirfetch'd though, so I guess he could still use a Galarian Farfetch'd to complete his Pokedex. And Goh did try to catch the Galarian Farfetch'd earlier in the episode. Still, this was completely unexpected and not what I was expecting to see at all. Galarian Farfetch'd is cool and a nice addition to Ash's team. It's great that Ash caught it, even if it was sudden and unexpected. So much so that I honestly felt that it was a mistake, like the writers added it at the last minute. But it's not good if it was at the expense of Sobble. Ash is the one that deserves to catch Sobble and not Goh. I am still hoping that Ash will be the one to catch Sobble. I still think that he will. But the odds of that have decreased now after this episode. But I will reserve my rant on this for the episode 28 preview discussion, which I will also upload, so be sure to check it out as well. The link will be in the description below and at the end of this video. So, that's the episode. Overall, it was a good episode, though I do feel that the battle between Raihan and Leon was a bit too short. It was over too fast and there wasn't enough build-up. Raihan was given very little time to shine, which is not good considering that this is his first appearance. I guess it does make sense that the battle was over fast, since Duraludon used a move that cuts his HP in half, and it was hit by super effective moves. But still, I would have wanted it to be a longer battle. It was still a great battle though. It was also nice that they introduced Chairman Rose, even if he was just on screen for a few seconds. He should get more focus in the future, especially if it plays out like it did in the game. It is unfortunate that Ash did not meet Raihan properly and there was no mention of the gym challenge, but at least Ash was able to greet Leon. It was great to see Sonia, but again, she did not get enough screen time. Three important characters from the games were introduced in this episode and none of them got enough screen time. Ash catching Galarian Farfetch'd was a cool surprise, and it was great to see Ryolu in action with a full moveset. But I was left with a feeling of dread because I have to wonder if Go will indeed catch Sobble instead of Ash. I am definitely not looking forward to the next episode if that's the case. This episode was just packed with too many things. Like they could have made at least 3 episodes out of this one episode if they took the time to properly develop and build up each scenario and character. It was still a good episode, but it could have been even better. But that's the video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching and let's meet again in the next video.